Hey everybody, I'm Josh Bennett with Mr. Money Sense TV, the channel where we help you earn more, keep more, and grow more money. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. We provide a lot of valuable content on this channel, and if you subscribe, you'll get notified every time we create a new video, and all our videos are designed to help you grow your wealth. In this video, we're going to take a look at what is a budget, why it's important, and give you kind of a little background and kind of food for thought around exactly what a budget is. So let's dive in. If you've ever sat through a health class in your life, I'm sure you're familiar with the concept of a food pyramid, which basically says, here's how much you can eat of different categories each day to have kind of a balanced diet. And usually, as you're thinking through nutrition, on every nutrition label, you see that based on 2,000 calorie diet per day. And as I'm sure you're aware, your overall health and how chubby or skinny you are is going to be directly correlated or be directly impacted by how many calories you eat. So that's why you see a lot of people and a lot of athletes or anybody anyway that really cares about their body, they're going to look at the exact calories that they take in each day. And are they taking in smart calories? Are they taking in healthy calories? Things like that to make sure they're going to be in the prime shape of their life. And if you're not monitoring your calorie intakes and really taking that seriously, that's when you start to see things like obesity kick in, or even just, some extra, cushion around the midsection. So, that's where bellies get, come into place. So you really need to pay attention to those calories to know what the outcome of your health is going to be and what your body weight is going to be. When it comes to your money, it's really no different than it is with dieting. You have a specific amount of calories that you have to eat each day or can't exceed, etc. So when it comes to your money, it's basically the same thing. To know exactly how wealthy you want to be and how you can get there, you have to have what's called a budget. So budgeting is the finance and money equivalent of calorie counting, like it would be when it comes to weight and exercise. So budgeting is knowing exactly how much money you can spend in a given month on different topics. Just like a diet is a plan on how you're going to consume your calories, a budget is a plan on how you're going to consume your money. For example, there are going to be costs that you're going to have each month that you want to make sure that you can cover. So one cost is, say, your rent or your mortgage payment. Another cost may be your internet bill or your car payment. So those are costs that you're going to have each month, and usually they're what are called fixed costs. So you want to make sure that you budget or anticipate that this money is going to go out. So if you kind of think of budgeting, you have money that comes in. So let's just use round numbers. So say you have $100 coming in. Obviously this may not be realistic, but you have $100 coming in and your rent is $10. So now you have $90 left over. So then you have to figure out what to do with that next $90. Okay, well, you have a car payment. So that's another $10 out. So now you have $80 and so on and so forth. As your money comes in, you have to figure out where those dollars are then going to go. And what you can find happen is if you don't plan for this, you'll have those fixed costs that recur every month, and then you may find yourself just enjoying life, going out to dinner, charging up credit card bills at Starbucks or whatever the case may be. And then next thing you know, you may have $100 coming in, but you're spending $200. And that's where you see the financial equivalent of obesity come into effect. And that's in the form of debt. So if you're spending more money than you're making, that's when you go into debt. If you spend less money than you make, that's where you build wealth. That's where you get savings. That's where you get rich, frankly. And so that's where you really need to know exactly how much money you're bringing in and have a plan for how that goes out and how much gets saved. So that way you can really start to grow your wealth and get financially fit. The easiest way to get started budgeting is to go through with you, your spouse. If you're not married, just go through your own credit card bills and just kind of create a list of things that you commonly spend money on. So it could be eating out, groceries, Starbucks, video games, rent, internet, anything that you spend money on, go ahead and list those out. And then list out, are they monthly expenses, are they weekly expenses, daily? And then what you want to do is kind of get a overall average of how much you spend in each category per month. And some people may get a little bit more fine-tuned and do per week. I like to do it per month just because that gives you a big picture idea of how much you're spending per month. And most expenses will be either daily, weekly, or monthly. You'll have some that'll be annually, but annually is too far to give you a really accurate picture, so I like using monthly as a good benchmark. So go through and make sure you make a list of all those different things, and in the link below I provided a link to just a template budget that I've used in the past, so that way you can start there as a benchmark and then you can kind of take it from there. So aside from just knowing the dollars in versus the dollars out, why is it important to budget? And I think Joe Biden actually said it best when he said, don't tell me what you value, show me your budget and I'll show you what you value. And I think that's pretty accurate when it comes to people's budgets. Where we spend money on, whether we realize it or not, that's what we're showing that we value. And we may not necessarily agree with it when we actually look in the numbers. So like, for example, what I commonly see is people may be spending hundreds, if not thousands of dollars at coffee shops. They really don't get, when you look at it over the long term, they're really not getting that value over the long term. Like you may not be getting enough value from Starbucks to be worth spending thousands of dollars a year at Starbucks. But when you're only looking at it on that one-time transaction, that $4 Starbucks, well, you may not see the whole picture and it kind of steals from your values. And that's where I think a budget is important, because it allows you to stop, look, and reflect on what you're spending your money on. And that way you can determine, is this actually where I want to be spending my money on? And if you like spending thousands of dollars at Starbucks, I mean, don't let me stop you. That's, money is just a tool to make sure you're getting the most out of your life. And if that's what gives you that most value, the highest value, then by all means, I don't want to stop you, but I just want you to know where your money is going, and budgeting is a great tool to know how to do that. And it really breaks down to just knowing where your expenses are, having a plan for those expenses, and making sure you're spending less money than is coming in the door. I hope you found this video valuable. If you did, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on future wealth building tips, but also give this video a like so that way we get a little boost in the YouTube algorithm. And if you have any questions when it comes to making job transitions, especially when it comes to the finances around job transitions, make sure you leave us a question in the comments below. We're always happy to answer any questions that you do have. So make sure you leave any questions. And other than that, make sure you have a great rest of your week and make it awesome. Cheers.